What is the issue with modern strikers? In recent years, I've noticed that many strikers are simply nowhere near as complete or effective as strikers used to be. Many of the top number 9s in the world today don't come close to the levels of strikers from just around even 10 years ago. Top strikers used to be players that would be extremely technically gifted, they were elite in many technical aspects of the game, they were complete or almost complete forwards. However, they were also elite strikers. They were elite number 9s. By this, I mean that they displayed proper striker qualities such as natural finishing ability, they had incredible hold-up and link-up play, they were able to pin defenders and be a physical presence, they had great movement in the box and always knew where they were supposed to be. Basically, they were always a threat to defenders, and they had incredible composure, and most importantly, they had that killer instinct. However, now, many of the strikers playing in the best leagues in the world don't display many of these traits. They are either good strikers but bad footballers, or they are bad strikers but good footballers. I think a big reason for this is tactics. Most teams don't need a striker to be a complete striker. They just need a striker to fill a certain role. They might not be able to link up play too well, but if they can finish, they will be effective in a certain system. Let's take a look at many Premier League strikers playing now and see what they would be categorized as. Let's start with strikers who are good footballers but bad strikers. These are players who are technically excellent but don't possess the traits of top strikers. And when I say bad strikers, they might not actually be that bad. I'm just using that as a general description to show contrast. The first player is Nicholas Jackson. I think Jackson has a lot of ability and there are many great aspects to his game. I think he's a good dribbler and ball carrier. I think his link-up play and hold-up play is great. However, he has shown that he is quite a poor striker. He has arguably the worst composure in the Premier League out of any striker, and he has very poor finishing and ball striking ability. Also, his movement is arguably also the worst in the Premier League. I think he's a good footballer, but it's not a surprise that all of his best actions don't come from inside the box. His best actions occur before the final third, and it's also not surprising that he has been pushed out onto the wing, sometimes for Chelsea. The next player is Gabriel Jesus. Jesus is an absolute baller. He is a fantastic footballer, but he is not a great striker. He is excellent at creating chances and dribbling, but he possesses very little threat in front of goal and to defenders. He lacks composure in front of goal and doesn't have that killer instinct or natural finishing ability, which is why you see him miss a lot of easy chances. Also, all of his best actions happen outside the box, and he is not really a threat inside the box. The final example is Darwin Nunez. I don't think Nunez is a bad striker at all, but he is still missing a few aspects to his game that would make him a great striker. I don't doubt his technical qualities. I do think he's a good footballer, but the issue with Nunez is with his final product. He lacks composure and he is a very chaotic player. His ball striking is not really that great and he doesn't have natural finishing ability. He is overall quite clumsy when it comes to being a striker. He does have some good striker qualities, but the lack of those finishing qualities prevent him from being a top number 9. The next category is for players that are bad footballers but good strikers. These are players that are not the most technically gifted but show signs of being proper number 9s. The first example is Erling Haaland. I think Haaland is the best striker on the planet. He has the most qualities of a proper number 9. He is a physical monster, he can fight off defenders, and he is always a physical presence and threat on the field. He is great at holding up the ball, and his movement is probably the best in the world. People always call him a tap-in merchant, but fail to acknowledge that his movement is what gives him all of those opportunities. Also, his finishing ability is elite, and everybody already knows that. He is not a bad footballer, but again, this is the category that fits him best. However, it is no secret that he does lack some technical quality. He is not really a pure footballer, and he doesn't really need to be. His striker qualities make up for his technical deficiencies. Also, the way that Haaland is used in the Manchester City system maximizes his striker qualities, which is why we see those elite numbers from him. The next player is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin has obviously fallen off, and injuries have really ruined his career for the past few years. However, I think he has always had qualities of a true striker. He is a physical threat, he has great hold-up and link-up play, and he is a threat in the box. He is one of the greatest aerial threats I've ever seen, and I've always thought that his movement was also great. He obviously didn't reach an elite level in these types of aspects, but he still has good number 9 qualities. Two other players that I will not elaborate on, but also would fit into this category are Taiwo Awoniyi and Michail Antonio. Both possess decent striker qualities, but again, they lack technical excellence. The final category is for players who are good footballers and good strikers. These are players that have good technical qualities and have many traits of a true number 9. The first example is Ivan Toney. I think Ivan Toney is the most complete striker in the Premier League. I think Haaland has the best striker qualities, but as a combination of striker qualities and technical qualities, I think Toney is the best. He is a natural finisher, can hold up play very well, wins almost every duel between him and his defenders, he has great movement, and he's also a natural finisher. He is just a great footballer overall. He is a technically gifted player who is elegant and just a joy to watch and overall fantastic on the ball. The next player is Alexander Isak. I actually think that Isak is a better footballer than he is striker, but I still think he is a good striker. He is just a constant threat in almost every action, and he is a natural finisher as well. He is a threat in behind, but he can also hold up play. His passing is great. His dribbling is especially fantastic, and he is overall a pure footballer. The final player is Ollie Watkins. I don't think Watkins is technically as good as players like Isak and Toney, but he is still good enough to fit this category. The only striker qualities Watkins lacks is natural finishing ability, but even without natural finishing ability, he still finds the net very often. He is great at running in behind, running the channels, and he has a decent physical presence as well. His hold-up play and link-up play is arguably the best in the league, and his movement is also very good. Overall, the main point is that the peak of strikers now doesn't reach the peak of strikers before. Strikers used to be players a team would look to win them a game, but now they are just another part of the system. There's less need for a striker to be as complete, which explains why so many strikers are actually quite poor all-around footballers, but could still provide something. There's not as much need for them to be good at everything because the system and other players around them can make up for their lack of either technical quality or proper striker traits and qualities. I understand that the game evolves, but I do miss seeing strikers who are very good strikers and footballers because it seems like a rarity nowadays. And if there are strikers who are good strikers and good footballers, they are not close to the top strikers that came before them. So that will be the end of the video. Please put your thoughts in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed watching. Also, there will be a link for a Discord in the description if you're interested in joining a space to talk about football. Thank you so much for the support, and thanks for watching.